morning. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? It's not a Friday, and I know it's been a while since I've been with you guys. It's a lot been going on. My schedule has been a little crazy, and I mean I have to say, um, this is becoming a little bit more challenging for me than I thought it would. So bear with me, and thank you for sticking around and joining me. My name is Darius James, and this is my channel, and I call it Story of My Life, where I basically share my life story with you, hoping that it can be a blessing to you, an inspiration to you. So if you have stumbled upon this channel by mistake, I don't think it's a mistake. You should go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can know when I post a new video. And I try my best to keep up, but like I said, it's been a bit challenging, I have to say. But nevertheless, we are here. So don't forget to hit that like button. And where are we? Where did we left off from? Was it part 9? I think it was part 9. I think the last episode was about British Dependency, the first band that I actually was involved with, or part of, founding member of, when I came to Angola, and transitioning from that and creating a new band called True Intentions. And there, so let me give you a little synopsis of how True Intentions started off. True Intentions started off with Vanessa Croft, Dennis Warrington, Jonathan Warrington, yes, they are brothers, and myself. After we transitioned from British Dependency, myself and Jonathan, we decided to form our own band. Reggae has always been my true kind of a music, because I believe it's the message music, and that's what I like. I like to have a message in everything that I'm doing. And so we primarily started playing reggae. We started off at the Pump House, Davida's, almost everywhere. I think we played almost everywhere you can think of in Angola. And things didn't work out as we planned with Miss Groff, and she transitioned into something else, and we keep it going. We keep it going. I think the first time when we started off, I think Asha played with us sometime. Justin Richardson might have played with us a couple of times, because again, Dennis had just come up from Dominica, and we were still figuring out his work permit stuff. And when Dennis came from Dominica, I don't know if he remembered, he was literally more of a drummer than he was a keyboard player, and he kind of, find his way on the keyboard. And up to this present day, I don't feel comfortable playing with anybody else but Dennis, because Dennis knows my style so well, because we grow together musically, that he's my keyboard player. I take him anywhere with me. He just knows my vibe. He can play as a soloist, and you would swear that there's 2 or 3 keyboard players playing at one time. But True Intentions was home for me. Still is for me, although we are a little bit dormant right now. But I felt like that was my true intention. Reggae music was my true calling, still is. As a matter of fact, I'm working on an EP right now, and I just met 2 of my boys from Jamaica who is here on island right now listening to one of my tracks, and they gave me the green light. The guy said to me, he said, "Yes, bro, you have proven that you don't have to go to Jamaica to sing some reggae music, some real reggae music. Trust me, this one is a real bombshell, and hopefully we can drop it sometime." I can't say when this is gonna happen, because it's so much things are happening right now. My creative side of my brain is taking a little bit of a backseat, because I have to be so corporate. There's a lot going on. But like I said, True Intentions was my true calling, and myself, Shix, and Dennis, we carried that mantle for a while and played almost everywhere. And then Shakes had to leave to go back home. And then that kind of forced us to kind of downscale to a certain extent. We found other bass players to fill in for us a couple of times, Patrick and Ras Daddy, I think Curtis Robinson once or twice. But after a while, the Angular Music Academy started to come on the scene, started to creep in, and that kind of just caused True Intentions to kind of fizzle out a little bit, because all my attention started to move towards that, because I felt that that was something that I had to do that would help me if I ever decide to get back to True Intentions. So like I said, we never broke off, or we never stopped doing things. We're just very, very dormant. And but something happened to me in my life while with True Intentions, which I want to give credit to the reason why Angular Music Academy exists right now in the way that it exists. I lost my first son with my wife, and it was very, very devastating for me as an individual. And I'm going to tell you something that might seem a little scary to you, but the way I coped with that situation was, I told myself that I had died when my son died, and I had taken upon my son's spirit. I'm going to say this again. I died, Darius died when my son died, and I take upon me my son's spirit to carry on. So I feel like I'm living my son's life right now, or I'm living my life for my son right now. And that just changed my whole mindset. When I'm gonna give you a little synopsis. When things kind of broke off from British dependency, it got a little ticklish, a little slippery, and there was a little bit of tension between me and the rest of the band and all that kind of stuff. And my son dying was the first attempt to have that relationship rekindled back. And I feel like my son was so powerful in death that he caused people that was far from me to get back close to me. And again, like I said, I can seem a little scary. And my whole mentality changed. I had the idea of creating a space, a creative space. I had the idea of creating a studio, and I wanted, my goal was to have the best studio in the Caribbean. And I say this with all humbleness, I believe that I do, but it become more than just a studio. It become more than just having the best studio in the Caribbean. The idea of living not just for myself started to creep in. I was never a selfish person, but at sometimes I would display some level of selfishness, and that just went all away when my son died. When I started to feel like every decision I was making, I was like, would my son want me to do this? Is that what he would want to do? And then I was like, what would be something that I could create that could leave a legacy for myself and my family and my boys, and even for my son who passed away, a legacy for him, something that he would be proud of, and in something that where I would not just be thinking about myself as an individual, but I'd be thinking about everybody else, and even now I find myself facing difficult situations or scenarios because I put people in front of me, or I put people's feelings in front of me, and it's just what it is. And I'm not gonna try to change the way I feel, because like I said, it's not my life right now, it's my son's life. But that changed my whole idea of creating a space, of creating a creative space. And that is where the idea of Angular Music Academy came from. That is where I start to think of, okay, what could I do? What could I create that would not just have an effect on just me, that would not just change my life, but it would change the lives of people around me. And that is where the idea of Angular Music Academy, and I like to say a mere vision of the idea, a very mere vision of the idea, because when it started off, it did not start it off as what it is right now. I mean, like I told you guys before in stories past, when I did my business plan, my budget was literally $500,000. That was literally my budget. And I don't want to tell you how much we've spent right now, but we've spent, you know, more than double that, more than triple that, more than quadruple that. And that's where the idea, like I said, that's where the idea start to stem from. I had the studio at the time, the Young Makers Lab, like I told you guys about. I had that studio existed, but there was always a void. I always felt like, okay, that wasn't enough, you know. And that started to become a business, and people started to come to my house, and I was like, nah, I need to get this out of my house, because you know, half of the time you have all kind of different people coming to the studio. Most of them is not people you want to know where you stay. You want people in your space and that kind of thing. So, you know, I always believe that a space like a studio is something that needs to be outside of your house. And not just outside, saying like an outside room, but outside of your dwelling area. It needs to be outside of your yard, in a different location. People have a different mentality too when they come to a space that they know you're paying rent or they know you paid for, as opposed to if you have a back room in your house. You know, they have a different mentality towards the space. And that's where, like I said, that's where the idea of Angular Music Academy stemmed from. In part 10, and I purposely wanted it to be part 10, I'm going to take you through the process, both in my mind and in reality, of Angular Music Academy. How it started and where it is right now. It'll probably take me a couple of parts to break it down for you, because I want to give you as much information as I can, or as most information as I should, so you understand the thought process and you understand how much work that was involved in it. So I'll try to break it down as much as I can. Again, these are summaries, you know. If I have to give you the whole story, it will be a Netflix series. So these are stories. So again, like I say, in part 10, which is going to be the next part, we're going to start with the idea, the mere vision of Angular Music Academy, and how it has transformed into this mega facility that it is right now, that we call the AMA Center. Thank you so much. This has been part 9, and I hope you took something out of that story. And I hope you look forward to part 10, which will come very, very shortly. I promise you, I won't stay away for so long again. Like I said, just a lot was going on, and I had to kind of, you know, navigate myself through a lot of things. But thank you so much again. Like I said, this is my channel, Darius James, aka Rias Music. And if you just stumble upon this video, again, like I said, you probably didn't just stumble upon it by mistake, hit that subscribe button. And if you are inspired by this video or any other video on the channel, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the notification bell, so you can know when I post new content. Thank you so much, and this has been part 9. Look out for part 10 in the next video. Peace out, and thank you, and may the blessings of the Most High abide with you as you go on your journey today, Friday.